everyone. Oh my goodness. I don't even know where to start on this one, but I'm going to start from somewhere. And for me, one of the reasons why when I see people, talking about Musa, President Shehu Musa, is it Shehu Musa now? Umaru, no, it's not Shehu, it's Umaru. Shehu is his older brother. When I see people talking about the late former President Umaru Yaradua, and how they romanticize the fact that, oh, he's the best president Nigeria had and stuff like that. I cringe a little bit. For me, he's so rest in peace. In as much as they say, don't speak ill of the dead. It's not speaking ill of the dead when you're talking about factual thing. One of the things that really hurt me the most was when he reversed some of the decisions that Obasanjo had made. A lot of reformative decisions that would have put Nigeria on a much better place. He reversed them. Part of them were the sales of the refineries as of that time. I remember Dangote, the Mate Sanko had bought some of those refineries. I don't know, a lot of Nigerians, some Nigerians were complaining and so like, sell this thing. Even if it's give it out for gift, give it out for gift. The monies, at least the monies we are wasting on these refineries that never work year in, year out. Every administration, you will see NNPC come out to say that, oh, in no time they're going to start selling, fuel. The refineries, the moribund refineries are going to be functional again. You start doing this, and then they will spend trillions of naira on this thing, billions of naira on refineries that are not producing anything. They've never produced anything, in spite of this insisting they're going to produce, and you're paying people who are doing nothing top-notch salaries. And I always say, most of the people who work in these refineries, really, if you look at it, what incentive is it for them to make the refineries work? You're just going to be giving them extra work with no extra pay. Right now, they do nothing, absolutely nothing, and then they earn so much humongous amount of money. In the electricity also, there were some reversals that the late president had made, which if we had let those things be, we would have come a long way to be on the better side, for Nigeria. Kaduna Refinery and other refineries were bought by Dangote and Co. And then when they returned their money, they did. Just hearing this interview, just to put it into perspective, I'm going to allow you watch an interview that someone did and what he had to say. Just take a look.
Well, Rufai, I've said it over time that I do not trust. I'm only going to believe the NNPC on the Port Harcourt refinery or any other government-owned refinery when I see the actual derivatives in trucks going out of the Port Harcourt refinery gates. That's when I'm going to believe, when the marketers confirm that they've actually started and that trucks have started coming out with products. That's the only time I'm going to believe them. Because, if you look at the fact that over the last 20 years, about 12 trillion naira has gone down the drain in turnaround maintenance, and there's nothing to show for it. And you look at the exchange rate at which that 12 trillion naira was expended, is nearly equivalent to $20 billion, which is the same thing that Dangote used in building one of the largest refineries in the world.
You heard it right. Imagine $20 billion. If you're transferring what was spent in naira on these refineries to dollars, you're talking about $20 billion spent on refineries that have not produced a single drop of fuel. Refined fuel, a single drop they have not produced. Yet this is the amount of money that Nigeria has wasted on these refineries. Please, I have said this lots of times, and I've said, look, can we take these whole refineries and look for who is it that we're going to give? If, for example, okay, fine, because you might say, oh, giving it as a gift. Even if someone will buy it for 1 naira, just 1 naira, please sell it. At least the monies you are now having to pay salaries, spend on repairs, you will save it and put it to something else. Imagine $20 billion being spent on Nigeria educational system. By now, we know what would have been getting. Imagine even if it's health alone, that was, the focus on real deliberate focus, not the one that corruption, conduit pipe, and all of that are flying left, right, etc. Imagine where we would be at. And this is something that is wasted year in, year out on something that you know it's not going to work, because there are people who really don't want it to work. I've always said NNPC is the biggest 419 outfit in Nigeria. Is the biggest, you know, when they say advance fee fraud, right? This one, I don't even know what to call them. The real scam, the biggest scam you can think about in Nigeria is actually that NNPC, and the way it continuously scams Nigeria, scams every administration that comes in, and then, you know, just taking our money and just using it anyhow. Imagine what all of these resources would have done if they were appropriately used, judiciously used for the benefit, for the betterment of the Nigerian people. But we have a few who are holding the destiny of our nation together. And when Nigerians see someone who is taking on this establishment, going after them, instead of them to rally all around this person, they find ways to say all sorts of things. Before you know what's happening, they are telling you, oh, he's too weak, oh, he cannot do this, he cannot do that. Of all the presidential candidates, the one person who was bold enough to talk about oil theft and the fact that he was going to do everything to stop it was Peter Obi. Yet that's the person that people are calling weak, because of course he doesn't use the law against people. He's not high-handed. He's not criminal-minded. He's not thinking about using violence against the people. He respects the people. And so when Nigerians see that kind of leadership, they feel that, oh no, that's not the type that they want. And maybe, okay, be enjoying the high-handedness you see, and the one that have robbed you of your mandate, have entered this thing. I get it. You might be saying, oh, but it's not, Nigerians really didn't vote for Tinubu. Totally, absolutely, Nigerians didn't. And I always say, you know, 2023 election was a revolution that happened, a bloodless revolution that happened, even though it was not allowed to stay. But over time, like right now, you see when people are talking, they keep talking about, maybe Peter Obi is too soft. Maybe, okay, be enjoying the one that will use violence, that will kill you, that will maim you, that will do everything to steal and rig election from you. Be enjoying that if that's what you want. But hey, let me come back and focus on this whole refinery issue. Honestly, the refineries that we have in Nigeria, they are really killing us. That is not the way it should be. Look at Aramco. Aramco is declaring billions, 50 billion profit. I think, was it half year or quarter, they were declaring about $50 billion profit, doing all sorts of things. Meanwhile, in Nigeria, they are looking for money. Yeah, NNPC is going out to look for money. The percentage that they're supposed to have bought, that we were told were paid for, money were actually collected, were said to have been collected and paid for, to pay them with, is coming out now that, oh, they haven't even paid and they're looking for loan outside to be able to do that. I mean, Nigeria has sold this fuel. It's upfront to collect some money that some people are going to collect, sit down and eat it, and the rest of the people are just looking like, you know, like 250 or is it 220 MOUs.